those that are new to YouTube and those that are old to YouTube. This is a series called Character Wise, and it's a series where basically we talk about YouTube's characters and their backstories and etc. I'll talk about the ones that I know and etc. So that way it makes things easier said than done. This is episode 1, so let's begin. We're going to start off with 4 people. Obviously, I'm included because I want to get this out of the window so that way we don't get confusement. We got Numi, aka the Pink Fox, aka the fangirl that's basically immature. We got Sierra, the fangirl, who's also a bit of a pain. And then we got Reagan, who is not a pain, but she's actually decent in from point of views. We start off with character development, and then we go from backstory, and then we go from height as well. We start off with Reagan because I want to start off with the good things, and then we end it with the bad things. Reagan's character development. Reagan is a knight that's a shapeshifter, one of the highest shapeshifters, being honest. And she's the only one that basically is special out of all people. She's not chaotic, but if she does end up going pissed, or be pissed off to the point where she starts losing her marbles, then she'll go literal mad. But until then, she doesn't give up on a fight. Numi's character development. We'll start off with Numi. Numi's character development is kind of weird. For starters, her character was from an egg. Surprise, surprise. And her relationships kind of make her life a lot worse than it is. Then we got Sierra. I know I skipped it, but honestly, I'm being honest, short and simple. But Numi's character is a bit awkward to answer. Then we got Sierra's character, who's literal a copycat. I thought Reagan was the copycat until actually seeing Sierra's character, who kept on copying parts trying to make it look like her origin. But really, just taking other weapons that look exactly the same as the first one is kind of basically like a shapeshifter, being honest. Also, her character development is kind of weird because obviously to make things easier said and done, she keeps having relationships and those relationships doesn't go out, she finds another loved one and basically make things a little harder for her. Then we got my character development. To make things easier said and done, an old character who can't die and wishing he could, basically he can't. Even with the inner frame, he wished he could actually die, but after basically giving a purpose to stay alive and make sure he protects everyone that he knows, after his existence of his past, he had no choice but to deal with that, along with protecting Reagan and Numi, though Numi doesn't appear a lot. Then we go from their bios. I think I already explained a bit that one of the person's bios, but I'm going to explain it again. Reagan's bio, as I got a lot of information, and after basically looking through this channel, I know basically this is one screen, so we'll start off with the other person to make things easier said and done. Numi. Numi's bio is obviously kind of a bit of explained, but I guess I'll start with her. Numi's character is basically questionable, as in a lot. Relationship-wise, it's broken as hell. And she's immature as heck. When she does go pissed, which she does quite often, because she gets literal angry so easily, she'll go into her killer form, trying to take her personal loved one and not giving that person a bit of a chance to basically talk to this other person before things go out of hand. If things like basically the ex-loved one basically trying to snatch the person from her grasp, it would make more understandable. But since Numi's characteristics are questionable, we don't know what the answer is. Then we got Sierra's character, who is questionable as heck. Actually, matter of fact, it's quite simple. Her character is broken as fuck. For a simple reason, her character keeps on changing from one minute to another because some people keep on using her character in the videos. But besides that, her character keeps on changing form from one week to another by the looks of things. And things are just not easier said and done. Her character is pretty much just copying parts and just basically slapping herself on with those parts to make herself look like she's the actual one and everyone else is just a fake. Kind of being honest with that. Plus, she always have her guards, aka the White Knights. Pretty much, she's the weakest out of the bunch because she has to go up in groups to basically take down her enemy. Next we got my bio, aka my character's bio. He's the one who will basically be single-handed and basically will fight enemies straightforward. Pretty much, as you already noticed, that he takes down one person, but if it comes to two people or a few, sometimes he changes form. Either way, he doesn't basically go down without a fight. Out of all people, he's actually strong tier, because he can take down basically a giant beast, even though basically it's bigger than him and has a lot of strength. He figures out the little gimmick and basically just do what his job is and take down the beast himself. Next, we got strength-wise. We'll start off with the highest and we start from the lowest. Swag 20 starting from basically being powerhouse, level powerhouse, and destructive type class. He's classed as Kenta in the SCP Wikipedia, if he was, because he's that dangerous to the point where he will either dismantle himself and then put himself together with the person inside. After putting himself together, the person from the inside just pops out like Minecraft inventory parts. He's classed as a danger type. Then we got Reagan, who is actually second strong. The reason why I say this is because it's not her sword abilities, which is her weapon, it's her staff abilities. She doesn't learn a lot of abilities, but she's actually second strongest. For the simple reason, out of all things, she's the only one that's determined to not give up. Similar to Swag 20 and similar to Numi. Kind of. But that's kind of being honest. Next we got Numi. The reason why I said plain and straight, Numi is kind of the same like Reagan, is because they're similar in common of basically having strength needs. Her strength is changing into forms and basically being a bit of a powerhouse. If she doesn't change into that form, she's pretty weak. That's the downside of her form. That's kind of being honest. Yeah. And then lastly, we got Sierra. Sierra's strength-wise is hell as frick. As you can tell plain and straight in viewing her videos, she always has backup every time. Where she doesn't basically go single-handedly and doesn't basically go in her changing modes. Because she's always a copycat and she's always afraid of being basically not able to have backup because she's kind of pretty much a coward. She always needs backup so that way people basically can back her up. You can clearly see plain and straight when I basically have to deal with Reagan, I don't basically need my backup. I usually basically just deal with Reagan and deal with the crisis I have to deal with. Reagan kind of doesn't, but she's basically good enough to actually deal with her own problems even if she doesn't have a lot of backup. That's the difference. Character feats, or basically their reflex, Swag 20 obviously is already in top tier, so we don't need to talk about him. But who's in second tier? This is between basically Numi and Reagan, since them two are pretty much almost identical. I'm being honest in my point of view. They pretty much use weapons and all this and that, and sometimes they can basically deal with problems even without weapons. But sometimes they mostly have to use weapons for the sake of things. But the true winner in this second spot is Reagan because she has a more feat and more personality, along with having more understanding and more likely to understand life instead of Numi. Numi, on the other hand, has another loved one to basically keep herself happy. Being honest, I'm telling the truth. But Sierra is literally the downfall on each and every other one since she really needs backup. She's not like Ash. That's the difference. Ash is more solo, but at the same time, he kind of uses backup just in case for emergency situations. Who's the better character now? Swag 20, I'm going to be honest, is actually in second place. He isn't the best character, but he's personal second. Reagan, on the other hand, is actually high tier. Out of all things, she's actually the best character. Numi being in third and Sierra being fourth. As you already heard in this video, that the explainment is that it's about what they are, which is character personality feats. Though being honest, you may say plain and straight why I put my character in second. It's not because he's overpowered, it's just that he doesn't have any other weaknesses except for one, which is kindness. I did say empathy, but I mistaken kindness as empathy. Reagan has kindness, emotions, and etc., along with having a caring heart, even though she doesn't care for her other kinds, which is kind of weird. But you wouldn't understand it even if you basically watch her videos. Even I didn't get it. Sierra doesn't care at all, meaning she's in 4th place. She has caring this and that, but she literally needs someone to back her up like a security guard, like a buff boy. If one person goes away, she just finds another loved one like some gold digger. That is the problem. Because of this, she's in last. Numi being 3rd because she's kind of similar, but not entirely similar. Because she doesn't basically meet boys, she always just meets someone to basically make her feel happy. However, basically Sierra is never always happy by the looks of things, even though she says she is happy. Being honest, that type of thing. Though, if I was gonna add another person, it would have been Declan Cox, not being honest. C-O-X, that type of Cox, like Cog, but with a X instead of a G, I guess. He would most likely be in 5th place because he always tried to prove himself that he is right where he's always wrong. That's why I'm saying plain and straight that this and that and all this, pretty much. But I'm being honest, that guy would have been in completely 5th place, 24/7. No survival chance, no propol or anything. He's just done for it, even if he did forgive himself. Shadow Luigi pretty much was basically on the good side, just nobody saw him personal. And if you mentioned like Jesse, he would have been on this list, but Jesse has so many alternative versions. Now I'm playing straight that why did I basically just brought up this Swag 20, not all the others. All the other Swag 20s have a weird personality kind of disorder, where Swag 20 just has emotionless and kindness. He never leaves his guard down, even when he's kindness. That's the difference. Reagan doesn't leave her guard down, it's just that sometimes when she does leave her guard down, that's the type of thing. Numi pretty much leaves her guard down, same thing with Sierra, so they're in 3rd. Cogs always let his guard down 24/7. Try to get back up where really you try to basically do something stupid. So that's the end of this video. Hope everyone understands. Jesse is not on this list. He'll be on the next list along with other people as well. Hope everyone understands this video plain and straight, because I don't want anyone to get offensive plain and straight as well. And I am going to reveal that Reagan Megatron design since it's based on the G1 Megatron. I will say that plain and straight because I had to make some slapping just G1 style and made sure she stays the same gender because I didn't want to make it just a male version and make things just worse than they are. Hope everyone understands and hope everyone has a good day. I know what I just said a few seconds ago, or minutes, I don't know how long this video is, that it doesn't make any sense what I just said just a few seconds ago, aka the word basically saying that just this and that. Yeah, I understand as well, playing straight. I know this video doesn't make any sense, but Reagan is actually top tier just because of how the character is working. Numi is kind of 3rd tier. My character is like 2nd tier because obviously to make things easier said and done. He's good, but he's also bad of basically making sense. Sierra and Cogs are pretty much in 4th place and etc. Oliver, if I was going to add her, which I will be adding in there, would be pretty much at 10th place for purpose reasons. I'll explain why. I'll see you all later in the next video. I hope Reagan has a good day. I hope she survives this pandemic along with other people that I mentioned in this video. I'll see you all in the next video, even though I just repeated it multiple times. Until next time, have a good day.